First, I'd like to give all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers on the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. I just want to respond to this video and also promote it. Video made by Apostle Gabar on change. Obviously, you should be checking that out, man. Lord will. It's beautiful. It will build your faith and it will edify you, man. The apostles doing what the apostles were set up to do. But I just want to do a quick response because, funny enough, I've been meditating on the flesh recently, and it's just a couple points I want to bring out. I don't want to go on for too long because time is money, man, and this video is 2 hours long, so I don't want to take time away from this, too much. But I just want to go straight to the scripture here. This is Romans, the 8th chapter. And I'm going to start from 4 and read down. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. All right, now what does that mean? All right, you are a spirit that's been placed on this realm of existence, in this physical realm. You're encased in a vessel. The Lord created us a vessel for this earth, man. Now, this vessel does its job very well, especially if you eat the correct foods. All right, it does its job well. The job of the flesh is to survive. Okay, so what do you need to do to survive in accordance with the flesh? Well, you need to eat. You need to eat. You need to sleep. You need to drink. We have to procreate, so you have to have sexual urges. You have to have sex. Okay, these are the things that are in the flesh. Okay, different emotions and so forth. And on one level, these things are important. They do play a role in life, and there is a righteous side to all those things. Okay, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a meal. The flesh caters for that. You taste the food, you enjoy the food, you eat it, and you satisfy your soul, and you continue to live, so to speak. Okay, you have ears, you hear music, whatever the case, your eyes to see external stimuli. All right, like I said, you have sex, you feel the pleasure of sex. Okay, and on the flip side, certain things, like if you break your leg, you have pain. That's your body telling you you've broke your leg. There's something wrong with your leg. You need to pay this leg attention, lest the worst thing happen to you. Okay, you go to the fear of hurt is built into the flesh. The dislike of being in a state of being uncomfortable or in pain is all part of the flesh, and it has its role in certain situations, which is good. I.e., you might be crossing the road, all of a sudden you hear, your ears are there, you hear something, you look quick, you see something, oh, it's a car. Your body, the way the flesh works, you get that adrenaline rush, blah blah blah, and you're able to move, if the Spirit of the Lord will, quickly out of the way so you don't get put to death. Is that evil in itself? No. But what we have to understand is that, with all that being said, the flesh is just that. It's flesh, and it does not know how to discern right from wrong. It only knows how to experience temporal states It only knows how to experience being full or being hungry. Tasting something and you like it. Tasting something and you dislike it. It doesn't discern whether you should be eating it or whether you should not be eating it. The flesh does not discern that for you. It wasn't set up to discern right or wrong. And this is the thing. It's the same thing with sex. All right? Your body is set up to enjoy sex. It does not, however, discern for you who you should and shouldn't be having sex with. All right? Because I can guarantee you that everyone that's committed adultery, they enjoyed the sex when they were doing it. It's a fact. Why did they enjoy the sex? Because it's sex. Your body doesn't know that it's adultery. Your body is not concerned whether it is adultery or not. That is not the issue of the flesh. The issue of the flesh is whether it is pleasure or not. Now, if you're having sex and you start feeling sharp pains, you're going to stop having sex. Okay? Why? Because in the flesh, you feel discomforted. But if you're having sex and it feels good, as it does, you're going to continue to have sex. According to the flesh doesn't want to stop because that is what the flesh is about. The flesh is about experiencing pleasure and avoiding displeasure. And again, that in itself does not dictate right or wrong. The scriptures do that. The Spirit of the Lord is what edifies you as to what is right or wrong. And this is the issue now. What happens when your body is desiring something for pleasure, but it's wrong? That's when you got to utilize the Spirit, man. That's when you begin to be led by the Spirit. And part of being led in the Spirit is denying the flesh. Sometimes you're going to have to be discomforted to do the right thing. The flesh doesn't want to be discomforted. Another thing. Let's get, I don't want to go on for too long. Let's get the book of Jude, because a lot of these cats, especially guys coming up against GreatMillStone, they're confusing feelings with the Spirit, man. It's two different things. We all gonna feel a certain way about a certain thing and have an emotion about a certain thing at a certain time in the flesh. Okay? That doesn't mean that if you feel good about something, it's right. And it doesn't mean if you feel good about something, or not good, I should say, it's wrong. Sometimes even among the brotherhood, things are going to happen that you might not like, that might make you feel uncomfortable, and that discomfort is in the flesh. And then what do? You seek to be comforted in the flesh, but what you're doing is wrong. Instead of being spiritual. And this happens, man. And trust me, I've experienced situations where things have happened and I felt bad about the situation, where you've had to either rebuke or order came down and you had to do something that you did not like. And then you had two choices in that moment. You could have gave into that feeling and then seek to please the flesh, your feelings, your emotions, or that little voice in your head says, look, man, take a step back. Be spiritual about this. Trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And then you know what, man? Let me tell you something. When you do that, and then you, in hindsight, you look back and you see the fruits of what you did, you are comforted in the Spirit. And thank Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that He led you by the way of the Spirit and you didn't follow your flesh, that you did the right thing. And I'm going to say it again. Just because something doesn't feel right doesn't mean it's not right. And just because something feels wrong doesn't mean it is wrong. There's a difference, especially with the flesh, because the flesh does not discern what is right or wrong. That's not what your flesh is designed to do. Trust me, you could eat pork for a diet, man, and your flesh will have no problem chomping down on that pork, man, as long as it tastes good. That is the flesh. This is why what was written in Romans was written. Now, addressing you niggas in the it's the scriptures that's gonna come, and the fear of the Lord, which is a spiritual thing, because who have seen the Lord? It takes faith to fear the Lord, especially in this day and age. These people don't fear the Lord because they haven't seen the Lord. Because trust me, if they saw the Lord, the flesh itself would yeah, man, all right, because the flesh wants to survive. All right, let's get this. I want to get this sensual. And you can see on these niggas, man, like the Avengers crew, they're all hurt. They're hurting on the inside. And through their pain and discomfort with the truth, instead of being spiritual and seeking unto the comfort which is spiritual of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, when you do the right thing, they turned around and did what they did to please the flesh. This is Jude 1:19. Like the whole rape thing, man. Guys are getting emotional. They're not being led by the Spirit. They're going based upon their emotions, man. That don't feel right. You're having a reaction, my man, because you've come across something which is not comfortable. It's not normal to you in the flesh. So you're having a discomfort in your body, man, in your mind. You just got to deal with it, man, and be comforted of the Lord. This is Jude 1:19. These be they who separate themselves, all right? These niggas, they separate themselves from us. By way of what? Their emotions. Sensual, having not the Spirit. What does it mean by sensual? Meaning they deal with things in the flesh. They're of the flesh, man. They're of their feelings. They're in their feelings. The Spirit of the Lord ain't guiding them, because, listen, you are going to be, you are in this walk. You are going to have times when you don't like certain things. Something a brother did, you might not like it, man. Oh, he eats with his mouth open. You might not like that, man. It might make you feel a certain way. That's not a cause to go against your brother, man. And that's being spiritual. The flesh wants to react, man. The flesh wants to react. When you're angry, the flesh wants to do something, man. Well, what does the scripture say? Be ye angry and sin not. A spiritual man is temperate in all things. A spiritual man is gonna learn to have control over his flesh. And that's part of being patient. That's part of suffering. The suffering we go through in this truth, okay, is a spiritual thing, because one, we're suffering. And nobody wants to suffer, man. The flesh does not want to suffer. The flesh wants to be in a state of pleasure and comfort at all times. Trust me, that's the state that the flesh desires to be in. But it's not always expedient. And that's why you have to be spiritual and be patient and endure suffering. Just like Yahushua in the flesh didn't want to go up on the cross, like Apostle Kabar said. But guess what? He was spiritual about the whole deal. That's what it means to be spiritual. He wasn't sensual. Because on a fleshly level, you do not want to feel pain, man. You do not want to feel pain. And let me just say this real quick. That's why Paul related a lot of things we go through in this truth, like combat sports, like boxing. Because boxers, man, a lot of times the guy with the biggest spirit wins, man. When you get two opponents and they're physically matched, a lot of times they say the guy with the most heart, the guy that's willing to suffer the most and carry on, ends up winning, man. That can take more punishment. Like even in a marathon, there comes a point in a marathon when your body does not want to run anymore, and you have to override the flesh, man, to get to your legs to keep moving. because they can keep moving, but the discomfort is so much. The flesh doesn't like being in that state, man. And this truth is like the ultimate version of that. Your flesh being in this truth doesn't want to be in a state where things are denied to it, man, and you have to suffer. The flesh does not want to be denied. It's like a child, man. A child does not want to be denied, man. If you've ever had children, children are carnal, man, to like on a certain level. Certain level they can be spiritual, but to the most part, if you ever had children, children are like a baby is a very carnal creature. A baby is like, look, man, I want food now. They all they know is as soon as they feel hungry, that's it. The whole world has to stop. Feed me. And they start screaming at the top of their lungs. Something happens they don't like. They start screaming. That's why babies are known for what? Crying. Because babies want to be comfortable on every point at all times. They don't want to be uncomfortable at all. They don't want to stand it for a minute, 2 minutes. As soon as a baby feels discomforted, it starts to cry, man. And then the mother has to figure out, what the hell, what do I need to do? That's why babies cry a lot, man. Because they're in the flesh. The flesh does not want to be discomforted. And babies are not used to it. They're new to this. So they find it difficult to suffer, man. They act out. But anyway, these be they who separate themselves sensual, having not the spirit. And I just want to quickly look up this word sensual, because I don't want to go on for too long. Oh boy. Sensual. Okay.
Strong's G 5591. Psychikos.
It says the principle of animal life which men have in common with brutes. Like the animals. Animals only know I'm hungry, I need to eat. You know? This is, you know what I'm saying? You know? It's a primal thing. It has its place, but in terms of righteousness and wickedness, it doesn't help. Okay? Your flesh will not help you when it comes to righteousness and wickedness whatsoever. Only the spirit can lead you in the way of righteousness. If you follow the flesh, you might go right, you might go wrong. It's barely you're flipping a coin. So ultimately, you are gonna go wrong. Okay? If you follow the flesh and you go to a banquet, man, and they tell you, yeah, that's pork. The flesh don't care if it's pork or not. All the smells good, looks good. That's all the flesh cares about, man. The flesh don't care about, the Most High is going. The flesh is not concerned with that. The flesh is concerned with the lusts, okay, the desires. Okay, that's why you got to curtail them. Governed by breath, the sensuous nature with its subjection to appetite and passion. Okay, so yeah, it's the nature of the flesh to not be able to discern good and evil, man. The flesh doesn't do that. The only way we know right from wrong is through the spirit, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. The flesh itself, by itself, will never discern good from evil. The only thing, it's not set up for that. It's there to set up for pleasure from pain, hunger from being full, light from dark, loud from soft. You know, that's what it's there to do. All right? Feelings. Bad feelings, good feelings. That's what the flesh is set up there for. All right? So anyway, with that, check out Apostle Kabar's video. Shalom.